Hello and welcome everyone to another episode. Yes, so this isn't going to be a launch or anything too crazy. At least I don't plan on it for right now. What we're going to do is I'm going to construct the last piece of our solar array for Minmus Base Beta. Now, a lot of stuff kind of, I've gotten asked a lot of questions about the Duna base and kind of how it's gotten set up, how it's gotten built, just multiple questions about just about everything involving that base. I've posted it to Kerbal Space Program forums a couple times, just kind of the progress on how, basically it's gotten built and what pieces, what pieces got added and all that other just insanely great stuff that I've been doing. Now, the one thing I've been trying to figure out, and I think I got an idea on it now, let's see. What we need to do is, I think we're going to be using the core, the six-sided core, or whatever it's called. Now, the main problem with, because I want this to be very long and, I want this to be very long, and it's just not, I don't really want to use a lot of parts. So that's going to be a little bit of a problem, and I kind of am going to be sort of cheating it in a way. At least I consider it to be a little bit of cheating. Where is that structural piece? Wow, I think I was just looking at it and I'm like, yep, just keep skimming over the top of it, keep skimming past it. No, there we go. Now, what I plan on doing is, I think I'm going to put some docking ports, at least for right here. Flip this around. And yeah, put it right there. That looks pretty good for now. I'm not going to, I was thinking about it, but I don't think I'm going to. I was thinking about putting like caps on the top of some of these and stuff like that. And I think I'm just going to shy away from a lot of that stuff, only because the part count at the base is very high. And this is just some of the stuff I normally have to go through when building stuff like this. I can't get symmetry on those. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these longer pieces here. And this thing is going to stretch out pretty far. That's kind of the main thing. I want it to go out pretty far. To me, that this is looking pretty much the best way. I kind of want to use either all structural fuselages or, something along those lines. Let's see. I just want it to look a little pretty. I don't want it to be oh god. Yeah, good thing Control Z exists. If you hit Control and Z, it will bring you back to whatever it is you are making. I don't know what that is. I guess that was some leftover piece. Now, where'd that part go? That's like one of the things I always think I'm saying every time I'm constructing anything. I'm like, where'd that part go? Give me that part. Now, let's see here. I'm going to put legs here and legs on the ends. I think I'm just going to build it on one side to see what we can get. And I'm going to put a structural fuselage here. Is that what they're called? Yeah, structural fuselage. That works pretty well. And then on the end of it, I'm going to put one of these bad boys. Well, there we go. One thing I will say, and a lot of people don't know this, but what ends up happening is you have to rotate these around sometimes in order to get them to attach. And I really don't understand why it does that, but it gets angry sometimes, I guess, and just doesn't like to do whatever it is you want it to do. So, alright, let's get these on. I plan on putting, let's see, You know, I could put a docking port here, and that would serve better. Because the way I want it attached is it's going to be attached on, like, either this side or this side, but it's going to be on the opposite side. So, just get Alt here, copy that piece. There we go. And this is, whoa, yeah. Copy it from right here. There we go. Yeah, that works. Now, I want to either attach it from this side or, you know, something like that, and it's going to come off, because the whole base itself is situated, like, if you just watch my mouse, not like, you know, the whole base is situated this way, and then all the stuff comes off. I want it to go that way, off the side, so hopefully that works. This is looking actually pretty good, to be honest. I don't really have too much problems with the way this looks. Now we need our solar panels, and turn off symmetry. Let's see. I want to pack as many as I can, but at the same time I don't want it to look fugly, so let's see what we can get. As far as solar panels are concerned, I think we'll be able to do maybe 6. And that will be the most it will allow, probably. I just don't like how that's off-center a little bit now. That just bothers me. If anything, I'm going to add these solar panels later or something, but I think I'm going to have to put one on there, or each one individually on there, so I'm probably just going to start. Yeah, I'll turn on the symmetry, or the angle snap, I should say. I use the angle snap a lot, but it's just, sometimes it doesn't work. Like stuff like this, you can see it's like still crooked, and then the only way you can get it is if you turn it off, which is a kind of annoying, but it sometimes with certain things you build in this game, that's the only way it can be done. Or what I could do, this will probably work out better. This is another little trick I use, because for some reason when things are going sideways, they don't really add themselves to, like, well to the game. I don't know why, but sideways it just doesn't like that. Yeah, there we go. We'll be able to do this. I won't have to do it off camera. I thought I was going to have to add everything off camera because this thing just wasn't going to be nice to me. But if you have things going vertically like this, for some reason it doesn't add correctly. But if you do it just going straight up, it works out very well. So I want these to be centered as well too. So like if I can, I'm going to try to put them more in the center. You know, and another thing too is I know I could probably just add one of these to the base and it'd be fine, but I want like a really big solar array. I want something when you look at it, you're just like, dear Lord. You just be like, would y'all look at that? That, you know, I want you to just be like, would y'all look at that? Just look at it. So, alright, this is looking pretty good. Bring this up. It's not going to be perfectly center. I know that. It's only because these pieces in the middle, they won't agree, I guess. I don't know. But this is the other thing, too, and how I ended up coming up with the moon base as far as how the legs work on the base. This really did help out a lot because you just turn on the angle snap and I lined them up with these pieces here. So, you know, no matter what piece it is, it's always going to be pretty much lined up all the time. And it works very well. I mean, a lot of these things, a lot of these little ideas that I've come up with since I started constructing moon bases, just have really worked out for the best. So, alright, what else should I add to this thing? I was thinking about adding a few little extra things here and there, but I don't, once again, how many parts is this going to be? It's going to be 2 here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you got 12, 15, and then what? 18 and 21. That's just for one side, I believe. I'm not sure. Alright, now let's just flip this around. There we go. So, I mean, this is generally kind of what I wanted. I don't really like the design of it a little bit, but there's only so much I can actually do. And I'm probably going to put some struts connecting up here to that, just for takeoff. So, I did use the escape system. This is the escape system design, but what I do is I'll end up opening up a rocket that I've used previously that worked, and just edit that. You know, it works out better that way. So this will be the Minmus Base Solar. I usually try to keep my names very low, not very long, just because it's a little annoying when you're trying to find stuff. I mean, just for an example, it's kind of hard to find stuff with all of this. It's really a pain. And I do name each one differently because I really don't like the fact of if something doesn't work out well, why can't I get a strut, put that in the center? What, the strut won't connect there? I don't understand. Now, alright, I think I'm just going to connect the struts right here. I'll have to put one somewhere around the center for each one. This is just to hold it to the rocket during takeoff. Once you get into space, the struts really don't matter anymore. So, at least they don't really... struts really don't cause too much of a problem. Now, what I'm going to do is we need a lander with RCS and a lot of fuel. So, the lander portion is going to have to come up here somewhere. I might have to move these legs in order to do that. Let's see. I'm going to put a docking port. Docking port in the center, please. Docking port in the center. Whatever. Just go like that. That's centered? Probably not. Let's see. One thing too with these docking ports is when you're trying to, if you can't place them, you know, using the symmetry tool or anything like that, or the snap-on, a lot of the times the docking port will shift around to like the little handle on it, and the more it's shifting around, the closer to the center you are. At least I think so. I'm not like 100% certain with that one, but it's a little tip that I use. I don't know, you know, once again, if it really holds, but... Now let's see, the last mission we launched, I used, I believe, a bunch of these. I don't even remember. This should be good, I think. Yeah, I mean, that really doesn't need a lot of fuel. This stage should take care of most of it, so as far as getting there and landing, at least I'm relying on it to do that. So we're gonna use a very massive RCS tank, and I'm going to put a bunch of these on there because they're lightweight and they do the job very well. Just angle them out a little bit so we're not burning those legs up. So why is that not perfectly centered? Alright, yeah, no, that works. Now, once again, too, when you're landing, you really don't need a lot of these engines either. And with Minmus, you really... the gravity is so low, it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to put a bunch of RCS on this thing, though. That's one thing I am going to add a lot of. And let's see. Alright, RCS is added. What else do I need? Let's see. An SAS unit, yes. Just put that right on top there. You know, I could probably opt for the smaller one, to be honest. Yeah, that works better. Less weight. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit less weight. And, yeah, I mean, I think this should be it. If there's any minor changes I'll have to make, I'm not sure. You know, I could group these right now. I'll finally actually group something. I'll put it on like a weird key that I don't use, though, just in case. So if you hold Alt, it will highlight, you know, the ones that you've clicked. You can see, oh, I think I just clicked something I shouldn't have. And yeah, there we go. So it will highlight those. I don't know how to unhighlight anything, though. So we'll click right here and just add all of these. Perfect. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, perfect. Is that all of them? For some reason, I feel like we haven't added all of them. I guess it's just the light on it or something. I don't know. Yeah, I think that was all of them. I'm not sure. Some of these are still like able to be. You're still able to click them, so I don't know. But yeah, that should work out. Yeah, this whole modular girder, all that good stuff. Yeah, but this is looking. This is going to be probably one of my largest pieces that I add to the Minmus base, and I'm really hoping that it works. You know, once again, there's a lot of variables in play that really just don't allow certain things to be added to it. You know, certain stuff I've had to try adding to it a couple times, so, you know, hopefully this works out. Now, will it even let me use symmetry for this? Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna add a bunch of these too. This will help out bringing the center of the rocket, you know, keeping it more stable during launch and landing a little bit. But once again, once we land, this will decouple and it will go away. And the only piece that will be left is this long piece here with no engines or RCS on it, just these solar panels. Oh, and I should have added these. Once again, I always tell everyone to add these if you're doing satellite launches. The thermic generators. And let's see, there's a place I can just slap these on. I only need like 2. Alright, perfect. Yeah, that works. And that will just save my butt in case if I don't deploy any of these panels before I land. And you know what? I honestly don't want to deploy the panels until I land, because I would rather not destroy anything and have to do 2 launches, which would suck. So, alright. This I'm going to have to add one too, because I am not liking how this part isn't really attached. So bring that down. Yeah, this is basically, you know what? Yeah, you know, I'll just put it right here. Whatever. No, but no, this is basically some of the stuff and some of the variables I have to come up with in order to construct just these absolute weird pieces that I make. You know, this is one thing I was considering too. I wanted to put a bunch of these on there. And since it is kind of a running theme at my base to have these, I think it would be good. I don't put one on here because it's too low to the ground. And, you know, I'm not... You know, I'm okay with the amount of landing legs we have. I'm just not sure that it will be able to support the weight, but I just don't like how they're very spaced out. But I think this is going to be a decent launch. I'm really not seeing any problems with the design. Another thing I can do, and this will help just during launch. Bring this over. Alright. Yeah, this will actually help out a lot during the launch. Is I can attach to right here. And, well, that works sort of. I'm okay with the way it looks as far as that. That is more than enough. And these struts really do help out when taking off, and especially because this piece is so weird. So I'm going to do one test just to see if it will even take off. You know, this is the kind of stuff, yeah, clear the launch pad. This was, I was playing around with the game, and I was using the tiny Rockomax engines, and I was trying to see how many you would need to get into orbit, and that was kind of fun, but, you know, I always do little weird stuff with that, but, let's see, we got a boatload of fuel. Alright, and you can tell these things are already, they're kind of wobbly. So, this is kind of what I do, it's just kind of a preliminary launch to see if it will take off, if it will make it into space and everything else, if nothing falls apart. Usually these kinds of things work out. It really doesn't, if it makes it usually around 3,000 meters, or 3 kilometers, was it 3 kilometers? Yeah. It usually will be alright. The only other time I have to worry is the separation of these solid rocket boosters. And that's pretty much the only other time that it has any other real problems. These main stages pretty much decouple once we get into orbit. And after that, I'm kind of exceeding the speed limit a little bit. Bring that down. Yeah, this is just absolutely insane. So, you know what? Honestly, if this mission goes very well, I wouldn't have a problem with ending it at the design and then starting off my next episode, basically sending this thing to Minmus, because honestly, I don't really see any problems with it. It's pretty much a well-designed piece. There really isn't anything, at least as of yet, that I've had problems with, so. It's sticking together pretty well. It's a little wobbly. That's nothing that I can't handle. Well, I expected it to be a little wobbly, but it looks like our core is on upside down as well. I think, you know what? Because of that, I might end up ending it. I'm not sure. You know, if I can still pretty much pilot it without having that piece, then with this being upside down, I think I'm okay with that, but I just don't want to cause any problems with the landing and the launch and all that other good stuff. It really is kind of a pain to deal with stuff like that. If you guys remember the, what was it? The Duna... Oh my god, get away from it. The Duna, whatever it was. No, it's the Joule 1011 carrier. I had the exact same problem. I ended up putting the pieces on backwards. The command modules. So, basically, it being upside down, I'm like, are we going the right way? Is everything going the right way? I don't know. And I think, yeah... I did not even go the right way because of that. So, you know what? We found one bug. That's not that bad. I'll end the flight here, and then we're going to go back to the VAB. I'll just flip that over. And, you know, our next episode will be launching this thing. I really don't see any problems with it other than that. So, alright. Give me that piece. There we go. I guess that's a good way to know if they are, like, in fact, pointing the right direction. Is this, like, inside of it, or am I just thinking that it's inside of it? I don't know. That's weird. So let's just get this as centered as possible. And then we gotta check our struts too, just to make sure. It looks like everything's still good. Yeah, I think everything's alright. Everything survived the move. That's the other thing too, is when you move stuff in this game too, sometimes it just really doesn't like that. Let's see, I'm gonna bring this up actually, because I'm not liking how centered that is. Oh, now you guys get to see what it takes to design a bunch of crap to go into space. At least what I have to go through to do like Base and all, or I mean Minmus Base, and just kind of some of the variables and stuff at play. Alright, this thing is making me angry, so let's get a new one. And turn off. Alright. Yeah, that's looking good. I'll bring it right in the center. Yeah, whatever. I mean, this thing doesn't have to be perfectly centered because it's not that big of a deal, but it will kind of throw us off when we're trying to land a little bit. Yeah, I think that's about as good as it's going to get. I do know that these parts are clipping through each other, I think, and I think that's what the problem is, but I